What's going on, guys? It's Ramsey, your homegirl here. I've gotten a lot of questions lately about how to watercolor or hand paint using food gels on a sugar cookie made with royal icing. Yes, it can totally be intimidating at first, but with a little bit of practice and patience, you'll start to get the hang of it, and you just might fall in love with it. Think of a sugar cookie as your blank canvas. There are so many different designs that you can create using watercoloring techniques. You just find the techniques that work best for you, and in this video, I'm gonna show you what has worked for me. I'm gonna help you turn this into this using very simple watercoloring techniques. For this project, you'll need your dry cookie, a bowl of clean water, some paint brushes, Dusty Rose food gel, bright white food gel, you can tell I like Watercolor, and something to hold some extra water and your food gel coloring in. First, I'm gonna take a little bit of the Dusty Rose color and dilute it with some water, as you see me doing here. Next, I'm gonna pop an extra drop of Dusty Rose by itself in the next well, along with some bright white. Next, I'm gonna bring in some of the watered down Dusty Rose into the blob of Dusty Rose, just so I can have some shade variation. So you're going to see me dip my paintbrush in the more watered down mixture first, because I want more water than color on the base of my cookie. I wanna start light. I don't wanna go too dark with color. The more water you have mixed with your food gel, the lighter color it will be. But you have to be careful not to add too much water. That's why I blot my paintbrush down on the paper towel before I touch it to my cookie. Too much water can start melting away your royal icing. Once I'm happy with the light base color I've laid down on my cookie, I'm gonna start blending in a little bit more Dusty Rose, which is that blob section you see with just a little bit of water added. That's gonna darken some areas and it's gonna create a nice blend. I'm also gonna bring in a little bit of bright white to add some variation and help blend a little further. If any lines start looking too harsh within your flower petals, just dip your paintbrush in a little bit of plain water, dab it some on the paper towel, and just blend it out a little more. Now I'm going to take my fine tip paintbrush and dab it in some straight Dusty Rose food gel that does not have any water on it. I'm getting it from that little blob there. And I'm just gonna start from the very center and make strokes like a fan, just going up. There's really no skill involved to this at all. You just stroke upwards. And once you're happy with the strokes that you've made, you're just gonna rinse off your paintbrush and start this whole process over with the next petal. And once again, this is just very basic introductory type watercoloring on this particular flower. You're just kind of blotting the surface area in no real pattern. And you're just familiarizing yourself with how food gel mixes with water, how much to mix it with, when to back off the water and that sort of thing, and how colors can blend together. If you'd like to check out my watercolored whiskey glass cookie video, I'll actually link that below in the comments. That's more of an intermediate style watercoloring where you have to pay attention to things like highlights and lowlights and where to put your dark colors and outlines and shading and that sort of thing. But once you familiarize yourself, like I said before, with the basics of watercoloring, you'll get to that point in no time if it's something of interest to you. Now I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit and let you enjoy the paint party. So I just finished watercoloring the full base, and now I've decided to take some stiff to toothpaste consistency icing in Dusty Rose. I'm gonna add some little lines coming out from the center just to add some extra dimension on the flower, just kind of an extra layer of dimension. And one thing that this also helps with is when you package this cookie. Watercolored cookies can take a while to dry, and sometimes even when they are dry to the touch, they might tend to, depending on the type of packaging you use, they might stick to the bag on the inside just a little bit. But when you have something that raises the surface of the icing just a little bit, in this case it's extra icing in the lines above, it's going to push that bag off of the watercolored portion of the cookie, the main watercolored portion, and it's going to help your cookie not stick to the bag. It doesn't always stick to the bag, but sometimes, you know, it's one of those cookie mysteries. It just happens. But if you put an extra layer of icing or something to just boost it up a little bit, the packaging, it'll help in this case. And the last touch I'm gonna add to this cookie is just dotting down some of that Dusty Rose food gel on top of the icing dots that I made, just to add a little bit more color variation there in the middle. And there's a simple but fun and beautiful way to try out watercoloring cookies. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, guys.